And today we're going to cover YieldMax funds, TSLY and CONY, to see what they did on Friday, which is typically, their busiest day because they have a lot of contracts expiring. However, this week was not, necessarily the case, as they did roll, most of the contracts already. But what you see here is a snapshot of the intraday trades from TSLY. You can get this directly from the website yourself. There's an intraday trade link that's under the fund that you choose. So if you choose TSLY and you click intraday, you'll get this. Unfortunately, if you did it today, you would not get it, but you have to do it the day, after hours that same day, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So if you look here on the intraday, you have 4 transactions. Typically, when you see 3 with the same quantity, that's adding to a synthetic and creating a weekly call, and that's exactly what they're doing. Type B is buy. So if you see a B, that'll be a buy, and you look to the left, you see a C in the big text or character disaster over there. That's a call. So that's a buy call. And then right below it is a short sell SS. That's a sell put, and that's creating an additional 150 contract synthetic position. Okay. Right below it, SS short sale is a, they're selling the call into next week. That's a expiration date. If you look, it's 2/2. So it's all in the ticker. If you read it, it goes year, month, day, transaction, which is the letter, and then obviously the strike price. Okay. So yeah, that's what they're doing with that. And then they have on the very bottom, they're using the contracts that were unused as of yesterday, 19,710 of them. And it looks like they're using a 187.50 strike price, which that's a very familiar number because they used it the day before. But let's take a look and see how that falls into the current price and how far out of the money they decided to go. So let's go to our spreadsheet here. So we have the synthetic 250. Just so you guys know, this has been closed, right? So nothing to really talk about there. And then we have the synthetic 220. Again, they have, this is the confusing part. If I go back to this, this is stupid. There you go. Okay. So if you look what they added on the synthetic. They added to the 220, okay? Keep in mind, yesterday they created a position for a synthetic 185. And Tesla price is closer to the 185. So they created that, and probably for that reason, and this was yesterday, right? They added 870 contracts. However, when they added to the synthetic, they added to the 220. So what the heck was the point of creating the 185 if you're not going to use it? So from that aspect, that made no sense to me. I'm not sure. Obviously, they're going to get a bigger credit when they add to this synthetic. So if you look, 150 contracts, look at the trade price difference between the call and the put. Because, they'll gladly sell you a call for cheap, and they'll gladly, they'll pay you the credit for the put. Why? Because look at the price differential. You're buying a call, right? Again, this is just a synthetic, but I'm just trying to explain the variation in price. You're buying a call hoping Tesla hits 220 or more by 315, right? Typically more on a buy call. So the likelihood of that is becoming less and less, as time dwindles down. So that's why it's only $1.95. So you can go out and buy a call yourself, right? For, $1.95 per share. Now the put, they're going to, again, when you sell a put for 220, you're saying, all right, I'll buy these shares for 220 by 315. Okay. And if Tesla is below, sorry, got to drink a lot of water this morning. If Tesla is below 220, guess what? You're paying. If it's above, then you're fine. It'll expire worthless. But more than likely, like looking at where it is, you're going to get it. That's why we're getting a massive credit, because we're committing to pay a price almost $40 more less than 2 months out. So that's why we're getting, the higher credit. But again, I don't understand why they're adding to a synthetic that is way further from the price, from the actual strike versus the 185, which is essentially at the money. So anyway, I don't want to dwindle on that too much. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. Nothing. A lot of crap here. It doesn't make sense. So to close this synthetic as of Friday close is 138.9 million. Again, it's just, let's hope Tesla recovers here, because our synthetics are getting burnt, man. But this is why you gotta put them, further expiration, 6 to 1 year, 6 months to a year. This synthetic, whatever. I mean, 29,580 to close it, but again, it's 870 contracts. I'm assuming they're gonna move it all to this at some point. But again, look at the expiration. What the hell's the point? Anyway, let's move on. Enough about that stupid synthetic thing. All right, so what did they do? They, as you saw from the screen print, right? They added 150 contracts, and then they sold additional contracts. So we'll get into that. First, let's see how the price did yesterday. So yesterday, 126, we had 0.69% gains in TSLY, and we had 0.34% gains in Tesla. So that's pretty good. It's really good. Especially after seeing this. Down 11 and down 12. I mean, damn, that was, woof. We got our butts kicked this week after earnings. But regardless, let's see what they did yesterday. This is what they did. All right, 150 contracts. And they chose a 187.50 strike, and then 19,000 contracts with 19,710 contracts with a 187.50 strike. If you look at the percent out of the money, they are at 2.32% out of the money, okay? If you look up here, the other contracts, they, at the time, 2.67%. So they even, went even less out of the money. So I thought they were going to scatter these because they decided to do one at a time. But for some reason, they chose the exact same strike, which is pretty much out of the money, the exact same position. And I mean, what the hell, man? I'm not going to lie. This is pissing me off at this point. Like, I get it, man. They may be right, and they may be right again, and then they may be right again. But are they going to keep doing this 2%? Like, I don't know. I'll get into it more on the next screen. So this is how much they made, though. They did make a lot of money. If you look at row 30 and 31. And look at all of them together, right? Look at that. That's massive. 6.4 million, 270,000, 40,000, 5.2 million. And of course, this is what they make, assuming there's not a giant call debit, like to close it. So if Tesla closes under 187.50 next week, then obviously they're going to look really smart. We're going to keep all this money, which is great. However, that's very risky. All right, cash and treasuries. We went up 7.4 million. Why? Well, if you look how much we made on the on these calls right here, 5.3 million. So that plus additional outstanding shares coming into the fund. That's why. So that's good. It's always good to see more outstanding shares and then weekly call income. So recap real quick for the month. Again, we still have time till deck date, but I just want to show you for the month, every contract is in a profit. We did not lose on one contract. So that is the positive, okay? These fund managers, they know what they're doing, right? They know more than us, that's for sure. They know how the market works, and they're hitting it like right on the money, right on the dot, man. So, but at the same time, they're pushing it, and I'll get into that in a second. All right, so weekly call income, we're looking at 39.4 million, so that's really good. Distribution payment, we're at 46 cents for the month. And just so you know, guys, I know people, I hear people quote my number. This is not what I'm saying it's going to be. This is what it is right now, okay? It could go up, it could go down. It depends how these weekly calls come out. Daily income is 3 cents a day, and daily yield is 0.33%. Okay, so let's get to this. Now, look, right? This is the active. So going into next week, we have a strike, one stinking strike of 187.50, 2.32% of the money. So the most, no matter what Tesla does, if it goes up 10%, the most we'll capture is this, 2.32%. Okay? We just went down massively last week. And one would think there's going to be a recovery, possibly a big recovery. But if we're going to sell 2.2% out of the money every week, we're not going to be a part of that recovery. Okay? And that, I just got to be real here. I mean, it's just going to take, you know, we're never going to get, we're really probably never going to see, you know, 15 bucks, right? That could be just gone. If they keep doing calls like this. Sometimes they impress me and they go a little further out of the money. But then there's times like this where they go back to one stinking strike, 2.32% out of the money. Okay? And I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Like, why? You had a chance to do one. They had the one at 2%, right? And then they had contracts to use yesterday. They could have just done like 4, even 4. I mean, I like 5, but I don't know. And I get it. IV's dropping, so they're trying to get the most bang for their buck. You know, the lower the IV, the lower the premium. But really, man, whew. And I got to show you something here. So TSLY price is at 873. Okay, so if we had a perfect week, Tesla went up. The most we would get is 20 cents. Okay, 20 cents. So we would be at 893 in a great week. Here's my reaction, as you can pretty much guess, is, you know what. But I mean, I hope they're right. Okay, they're right a lot. I hope they are, but they're just putting us in a bad position. And now I decided to, if you look on the right column, E and F, like, how many weeks would it take if they sell 2.32% out of the money every week? How long would it take for us to recover? So I did it, you know, I capped us out at that same number every week. So if you look, I went as far as 19 weeks. You know, if Tesla went up 2.32% or more for 19 weeks, we'd be at 1350. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'd be happy with that. I would. But if Tesla goes up 10% in 1 week, you know, that's where we're going to get hit, man. And it's going to suck. So we're not, you know, for them, if they continue to do this, we are not going to be in a great position to recover. And believe me, I understand this is an income fund. They don't care, but they should care. They should care about the NAV. How can they not care about the NAV? People have money in the fund, right? They don't want their yield on cost to go down. There should be some hope. I get it. There is some hope because they're doing at least they're not doing at the money. But whatever happened to 5 to 15% out of the money, man? This is why we signed up for these funds. This is why I signed up for the fund. Tesla is a stock that needs to be 5 to 15% out of the money. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. So if they're going to continue to do this, I have to be honest. I'm going to probably reallocate some of my funds. I know I always say I'm never selling TSLY, but if they keep doing this, I can't. It's just not. I just don't see a solid recovery path. I'm not going to sell all of it. I'll probably move some out in batches. I mean, I'm over allocated. As you know, I have like 50% TSLY, and I was going to slowly, not buy and decrease that position, which obviously is going to take a very long time. But there's no harm in reallocating it earlier myself if I deem necessary, because if I see the fund is not working how, what I'm comfortable with, then maybe I'll move some of the funds to a different fund, okay? So that's just, don't go crazy, guys, but that's just how I feel. I just don't like, I want scattered strikes. I want a little further out of the money. That's it, okay? I understand they're getting the most, income for us, but what happens if Tesla closes at 200 next week, even 190? Guess what? We're going to have a call debit, right? But if it closes at, 200, we're going to lose money. We're going to pay out our butts here, right? And someone asked me, what is the sweet spot that we'd want Tesla to hit in order for us to make money? Well, typically, I know I hate saying the words intrinsic and extrinsic income, and we talk about it on Defiance, but think of intrinsic income. It's actual Tesla price and compared to the strike price, right? So extrinsic income, eventually at expiration, it goes to zero because there's no time left. There's no time value left. So think about the difference between the strike and the actual stock. So if Tesla closes at 188.50, we'll likely pay around $1, right? $1 a share to close it. And that's okay, right? Because look at our open price. That'll be a profit, okay? So if you look, most of the, these open prices are averaging around $3. So we don't want it to really hit 190. Let's be real. We want Tesla to stay under 190. I mean, we want it to stay under 187.50, but that's also it depends when they close it. If they close it like Friday at 3:59 p.m., that's kind of like what I'm saying. If they close it Friday morning, it's different. There's more time left, more extrinsic value. Again, I just wanted to answer that question because someone did ask that the other day. I don't know if I should add that to the sheet. Maybe I should. I don't know. So yeah, this is going to be the recovery, guys. So just hang in there. It's gonna be an interesting ride. And just FYI, no, I'm probably gonna give it another week. I want to see how they play this out. If they do another 2% next week, then I really gotta think about reallocating sooner. Making Tesla really should not be 50% of my portfolio. I mean, or 45%, whatever it is now. It shouldn't be. So, and I was gonna, give it time, let it do its thing, but maybe it's time to move that money around to, potential better income for the long run. Plus, again, you should not be, 5% for fun. That's my rule. So I broke my own rule in the beginning because I was so greedy. So anyway, some good news here. Let's cover some good news. We got 39.4 million short call income. Again, they have made the most that they possibly could for the short call income, and they've done very well at that. So we're looking at 46 cents per share. No, this is not the final number, okay? This is not the final number. So we have next week, which, they'll probably add to the synthetic, and they'll add another weekly, which this number is not really going to move until Friday when they sell more calls into the following week, okay? And they'll probably get another 5 cents per share, or maybe a little less. I don't know. So if I had to pick an estimate, we may hit that 50-cent mark. Again, if Tesla price goes way above the strike, then we're going to lose. This number is going to go down. So we could go back down to 40 cents. So keep that in mind, okay? It's not like we only go up, If they make a bad play, we can go down. All right, so I covered this in yesterday's video, but it's going to be a part of my videos going forward. To just kind of calm the storm here. So my average on TSLY, because I haven't bought it in a long time, and I said I wouldn't because I'm very highly allocated in it, is $14.82. The latest distribution was 56 cents. If you take that and times it by 12, that's $6.68. Okay, so my yield on cost is 45% based on the latest payment. So, okay, even though my average is so high, look at that yield on cost. That's still really good. Now, if we're getting 46 cents annualized is 555, okay? And by the way, here's the formula if you guys were wondering, right? C20, so you take the annualized amount divided by your average, which in this example, it's cell A19, okay? So even if they pay 46 cents, my yield on cost is still 37%. So although, the actual capital is losing money, right? But look what I'm getting. I'm getting 37% to 45% dividends. You just can't beat that. I mean, so even if we stay flat, if we stay in the $8 range, that's okay. If this is my yield on cost, I'm happy. I am still happy. What I don't want to happen is the capital to continue to diminish. And I sit at my 1482 average, and the capital continues to diminish into essentially who knows what. And then the annualized comes to be like $1 or so, it'll be a long time till that happens. But you get the point. I just want my yield on cost to stay above 25%, really. So yeah, and obviously, this is why they say you should drip. You should reinvest your money. But no, thank you. I'll do what I want with my money, okay? TSLY pays my dividend, and then I do what I want. I buy the discounts. I'm not dripping because you say so. All right, let's go to holdings. This is what makes up the net asset value, just so you guys know. Again, I cover this every video. So again, just think of it as positive and negative, okay? Try to keep this as simple as possible. Positive amounts are a positive net asset value, okay? The negative is bringing down the net asset value. So what brings up the net asset value? Well, cash and treasuries, which treasuries are in row 5 and 6. So here's treasury, and then if you look, here's cash. Okay, that's the majority of our money, our collateral is sitting in that. And then they also have a positive, well, they have two positives because they have two synthetics. And that's a buy call on this synthetic and a buy call on that synthetic, because those are worth money. We paid money. We paid premium to open those positions. And we could still, if we sold out today, we could make money on those. So that's why they're positive. What's bringing the net asset value down, you ask? Well, the sell put. Again, we have to settle that at some point. And right now, that 220 sell put is bringing our NAV down by 146 million. So as you see Tesla goes down, this number gets bigger. And that's why the fund goes down. So that's how it mimics the movement of the underlying. And the top one, obviously, is a new put. It's a lot less to close. You could see the price per share, 11.52 versus 37.10. So you get the gist, because 185 is, that's doing much better than the 220. Okay. So total net assets is 743 million for the fund. Total net asset value per share 871. Actual price 873. So it's 2 cents off, but whatever, right? Who cares? Anyway, so that's TSLY. That took a long time. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm trying not to rant as much. I know a lot of people said they like it, which I appreciate it, because most people kind of feel the same way. But it's just, I don't know. It's a great fund, man. It is. It really is. It's a life-changing fund. I just wish it was handled a little differently, okay? This is my opinion. And as always, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is never financial advice. This is just my opinion. And I make these videos really just for fun and entertainment. And hopefully I try to educate too. I know, what do I know? I'm just a regular guy, just like you guys, just making content, doing my best to explain it. And, the fact that I speak regular language, I think is why people listen to me. I don't use any big words because I don't know any big words. I don't want to know any big words. I speak the language I speak. Just because I learn new terms doesn't mean I'm going to use them. I think it's annoying, actually, that people, some of these videos I just watch, like, oh, shut up, I don't know. I feel like they're trying too hard. But I don't know. I speak the plain English language, all right? Up, down, left, right. Okay, there you go. Stock goes up. Okay, good. Stock go down, bad. Anyway, let's get through to Coney. Coney, 3 transactions. They closed Coney in the 125, man. They closed it out, and look at that. They got lucky. Coin actually closed above 125. Not by much, but these people know something. They almost got it like perfect, and they ended up in a profit. We'll take a look at that one. And then they sold more contracts going into next week, expiration February 2nd, and they made some money on that. So let's go cover that real quick. This is TSLY. Let's get to Coney. Okay, so Coney has obviously this 165 is come and gone, so we don't have to talk about that. All right, so synthetic. I don't think, no, they didn't add anything to the synthetic, but if they close the synthetic today, which again expires very soon because they chose a very early expiration, which I also complained about. I know, but they could lose $9 million. It looks like coin may hit the strike of 130 by 216 though, so we may be okay on this. All right, how did coin price and Coney price do yesterday? They did really good. Oh man, look at that. Coin up 3.46%. Coney up 3.49%. Hell yeah. Let's give us a round of applause. All right, that's pretty good. So where's the 225? Where is this? It's 125. All right, so we made 261 per share. We closed it out at $1.29. So they actually made a profit of 1.4 million. Okay. Now, would you consider this? Would you say that they are smart, or would you still say that this was too high risky? All right, and this was a dumb move. My opinion, it was a dumb move. Okay. Yes, you made it out, but barely. Okay. Why sell at the money? Again, maybe they didn't. Maybe at the time they did it, they were out of the money a little, but not by much. They were 0.2% out of the money at the time. So they got lucky, okay? They got lucky. The strike was 125. And if you look, we closed at 125.20, okay? So as mentioned, like how much does it cost to close? If you see 125.20 minus strike of 125, that's about 20 cents, okay? But they had to pay, a little more because when they did it, they probably did it early in the day. So there's more time value that they have to pay. There's always a little time value until there's not, until the very last minute. Anyway, let's talk about the new positions. Well, here's all of them, right? We have all different strikes. Hallelujah. Coney Fund Manager, they get it, man. They get it. They know what's up. So good job, Coney Fund Manager. Hope you watch my videos because I do give you a lot of props. And I know you can't say if you're watching the video or if you're in the Discord, but who knows? If you are, then bravo. Anyway, let's look. So we talked about the 400 contracts. That's the 130 strike. That's the lowest one. At the time, it was 7.14% out of the money. But since coin went up, that's going to be a little less out of the money and in danger. What they did yesterday, 10,760 strikes, 131 strike. They made $2.35 per share for that. Pretty good. 4.63% out of the money. And then the other one, 10,010 contracts, 134 strike, 7.03% out of the money. I'm pretty happy with scattered strikes. They're not going as far out of the money, which again, that's a little scary, but they're pretty good. All right, cash and treasuries. Cash went up. That's about 2.8 million. Why did it go up? Well, again, they made money on the options. And then obviously there's outstanding shares. I'm not sure, honestly, if the outstanding shares went up. Looks like it didn't move. We're at 13,450,000. Total income from weekly calls, 17.7 million. Total distribution, 132. Total daily income, 8 cents a day. And then daily yield is 0.42%. Okay, that's a mouthful. How do we stand going into next week? Well, again, these are the scattered strikes. So if you look, we talked about the 130. This is where it's at now. It's 3.83% out of the money. That's for coin, that's very close, but it's only 400 contracts, so it's okay. The 131, however, that's really close too, 4.63% out of the money. So that could be in danger, but again, it's almost 5% out of the money. Okay, good. And then we have 134 strike, 7% out of the money. I like that one. That's a good one. 30-day IV, man, still doing good. Man, you got to love this crypto, man. It's always volatile. 78%. This is, if you trust Coinbase, this is a really good fund to own, man. They're just going to keep bringing in that premium. Obviously, Coney hit 30, and a lot of people bought in around the high 20s, and I get it, man. You guys are pissed off, and I don't blame you. But just look at the IV, man. You're going to make some premium. You're going to make that money back. If Coinbase continues to tumble, yes, that's very unfortunate. We know as TSLY shareholders how you feel, but at the same time, you're collecting premium along the way. So I don't know. I still like this fund. I know people hate it. Some people hate it. Some people love it, but I still think it's a good fund. And, it's going to be, again, 5%. It could be 5% of my allocation. Again, I don't even own 20 funds. So 5%, I'd have to own 20 funds in order to have stuff at 5%. So, we'll work on that too, actually, because I have to make an updated video at the end of this month, and I'll see like where I'm at. I need to start focusing better on my proper allocation, proper diversification of funds, because that does matter, because the pain is a little less when you're properly diversified. Coney earnings is February 20th, so now we don't have to talk about Tesla earnings. We can now talk about coin earnings. That's coming up next. Coney price 1985. Possible gains for next week 114. Put us right back up above $20. So here's my reaction. Plain simple. Good job. Happy face. We're all happy. Scattered strikes, out of the money, 3 to 7%. Okay, it's pretty good. With coin, maybe I want a little higher. But you know what? You're getting a happy face. Good job, guys. All right, let's go to payment. How we doing? Well, as you know, synthetic income on both of these funds, just massive debit. So I don't even talk about it. I'll try not to talk about synthetic income, but I'm obviously going to track it for debits and credits. Anyway, short call income, 17.7 million. Total net income with synthetic is a loss, 55 million. So if we ignore that for now, short call per share, $1.32, which again, we have another Friday. So we're going to make a little more money. We're going to be probably around that $1.50 range, as I've been talking about. So, it's pretty good. I'll take $1.50. Someone asked me to add my yield on cost for Coney. My average is 22.68. Yes, it used to be 17 something, 18 something, I forget. And I averaged up, and here I am, holding the bag. No, it's all good. So based on the latest distribution, they paid $269. If you annualize that, that's $32. My yield on cost with that would be 142.5%, which is not too shabby. But let's be real, they're not paying that. They're going to pay around $1.50. So my estimate based on the $1.32 is a 69.96% yield on cost, which, guess what, I am very happy with. Of course I'm happy with. I mean, anything over 25%, again, I'm happy with these funds. These funds are higher risk, so I want at least 25%, return. Again, that's just my kind of blind rule here. I don't know I don't know what your limit is, but to me, we're paying them 0.99%. That's a decent amount, man. And they're doing options for us on individual stocks. So in my opinion, I want 25%. Obviously, if I get less than 25%, it's probably going to be on a safer fund, which is okay too. But in most cases, like individual options investing, I typically want 25% for my risk. So anyway, let's look at the holdings. We kind of we talked about this, but again, what brings the NAV up? What brings the NAV down? Here's the net asset value on Coney, 266 million, obviously not as big as TSLY, but okay, what brings the NAV up? Cash and treasuries. I should probably freeze. No, I can't freeze them. Sorry, guys. I'll try my best to explain, but here's treasuries, 127 million, treasuries, 147 million, cash 5.5 million. Other positive, buy call, that's part of the synthetic, that's 16.9 million. All the negatives, the negative on the top is the sell put, how much it would cost to close. The negatives in the middle are the 3 scattered calls, how much they would cost to close. Again, they have to settle at some point. Okay, so that is where we get our 266 million, which our NAV is 1980. The actual price of Coney is 1985 as of the close. That's what I'm showing at least. So 5 cents off, but again, whatever. But yeah, that's it. That's where we stand for Coney. And that's where we stand for TSLY. So as always, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, please click that like button. You guys, by the way, you did it yesterday. You killed it. I got over 600 likes on yesterday's video, which is awesome. And I couldn't, so thank you. Thank you for listening to me and hitting the like button. Because again, that's all, I'm not going to charge for these videos. I'm going to get what I get from YouTube, and that's it. So, if you guys can help, my channel in any way, I know clicking the like button, I think if you get more likes, per views, YouTube will share it more. I don't know. I should probably look that stuff up. But if you guys know, if any of you guys are content people, let me know. But I just say hit the like button. Maybe I'll get 700. It's Saturday right now. I'm in the garage. I should at least get 700. What do you think? 700 likes? Is that asking for too much? And again, when I say the amount of likes, I typically mean within 24 hours. Because it's always a contest for me, these videos. These daily videos, I do, obviously a lot of them. And each one is in competition with the other. So yesterday's was very dominant, but I think today's can get 700. But yeah, no, whatever you guys want to do. Obviously, if you're driving, don't hit the like button. Wait till you get to your location, then hit the like button. But anyway, thank you for watching. As always, if you made it this far, I'll give you another word. Let's see. Let's just say 5%. How about that? Because that's, because we know the prospectus always said, I know they're going to change it. I haven't seen it yet, but 5 to 15% of the money. If you say 5% on the comment, I know you made it this far in the video. And again, I appreciate that. I know you guys are getting sick of that too, but it's just something fun, that I ended up doing. But as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like. If you want to help even more, you can share it. Any questions, leave in the comments. How do you feel? How do you feel about these strikes? I feel good about Coney. Obviously, you know how I feel about TSLY. Hope I don't know. We have to root for a flat week for Tesla, as always. But is what it is. I got to go. Let me upload this baby and go from there. Have a great weekend, everyone. Later.